You guys, can we stop this, please? Everyone is going crazy about this new Japanese kick that's taking over kickboxing, and now it's even reaching MMA, and you'll see examples of it being used in the UFC. And now that more people are paying attention to Japanese fighters, you'll see tons of videos on Instagram, YouTube about this new kicking technique from Japan. The issue with all that, though, is that it's not new at all, not in the slightest. These techniques involving kicking with the toe or the ball of the foot have been around for a very long time. They've not just been around for a very long time, but they've been used in competition for quite a while as well. It's funny, I recently had the opportunity to attend a seminar with a current one Muay Thai world champion. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to throw shade on anyone. It was a great seminar, but I'm sure you can assume who it is if you know the sport right now. But during this seminar, he was talking about these new Japanese kicking techniques that are coming into Muay Thai. It was interesting hearing someone at such a high level discuss these new techniques as if they were new, only because they were new to him and his area of the sport. And you might say, well, sure, maybe they're not new, but they're new to Muay Thai, they're new to MMA, they're just crossing over into these sports. That's actually not true as well. They're actually not new to Muay Thai or MMA. We'll actually take a look at some examples in a moment. This kicking technique, as we know it today, has roots in traditional karate. You'll see examples of its origins in Okinawan karate, as well as it being used quite a bit in Kyokushin karate competition. And I think part of the reason why people are saying or thinking that it's new is because for such a long time after the big karate boom in the US in the 1980s and the epidemic of all the McDojos opening up, for such a long time people clowned on karate and treated it as a joke. But now all of a sudden when non-karate fighters are using karate techniques and winning, people are starting to realize that karate is legit. Unfortunately, though, they're not giving it its due and calling this a new technique. Like I mentioned, these kicks have been used in Kyokushin karate competition for decades, and even before that, Okinawan and Goju Ryo karate styles. And even prior to that, you'll see examples of traditional martial arts utilizing kicking with the toes way back to traditional Chinese martial arts. But you might be saying, sure, they've been used in traditional martial arts and karate competition long and long ago, but they're new to modern martial arts competitions, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA. That's not true at all. Let's take a look at some good examples of this being used in kickboxing. One of the greatest heavyweight kickboxers of all time, Semi Schilt, he was known for using this technique in finishing opponents, kicking with the toe or the ball of the foot. He's finished many opponents with this and used this all throughout the early 2000s when he won 4 K1 World Grand Prix titles. Also in K1, the Japanese kickboxer Musashi. He used this kick in K1 in one of my favorite finishes of all time in kickboxing. This was in 2007 against the Frenchman David Dancrade. He had been throwing this snappy karate-style head kick the whole fight and used it to perfectly get Dancrade's hands up high and execute this body kick with the toes and finish him instantly. Okay, sure, it's not new to kickboxing and it's not new to traditional martial arts, but maybe it's new to MMA, right? No, that's also not the case. Yeah, we've all seen the clip recently of Rinya Nakamura using a toe kick to finish his opponent in the UFC. But even in the UFC, let's take a look at this. I bet you didn't remember this happening. Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier. This was in 2016. In the last round of the fight, Silva has Cormier up against the cage, and he throws this snappy body kick with the toes that hurts Cormier badly. Now, the reason I don't think people really remember this is because Silva went on to lose the fight. But in addition to that, outside of the UFC, you had karate practitioners like Katsunori Kikuno using this kick quite often in MMA competition. Here we see an example in Dream in 2010, even earlier than the Anderson Silva example. And again, I'm sure we can find countless additional examples if you go back into the history books of MMA, but these are very easy to spot examples and that date back 10 years or more. And MMA is a very young sport. Okay, it's not new to traditional martial arts, it's not new to kickboxing, it's not new to MMA, but The one Muay Thai champion giving the seminar is right though. This is new to Muay Thai. We've never seen it used in Muay Thai. That's actually wrong as well. Again, this will depend on how strictly you'll define Muay Thai. But if we actually look at some of the earliest ever recorded or earliest ever known competitions between karate versus Muay Thai, you'll see examples of this kick being used. We see one of the earliest ever competitions between karate and Muay Thai. This was in 1963. The man who is credited as one of the creators of kickboxing in Japan, Tadashi Sawamura. And here he is in 1963 taking on the Muay Thai fighter. And you'll see several examples in this fight from 63 years ago of him using this kick. Now I say it depends on how strictly you define Muay Thai and Muay Thai rules, because this fight wasn't necessarily fought strictly under Muay Thai rules, but it was at least a modified Thai rule set, because you'll see the Thai fighter throwing elbows, but you can tell that it wasn't strict Muay Thai rules because the karate fighters here are using throws that are obviously illegal in Muay Thai. But the fact that they can use elbows, clinch, and throw knees, that's at least a modified Muay Thai rule set. So if you think about it, this has been around in Muay Thai longer than anyone ever imagined it would have been. I mean, we're talking 1963, and this was in Thailand. And in subsequent examples of Kyokushin fighters from the Oyama Dojo team going to Lumpini Stadium in Thailand to fight the Muay Thai fighters, you'll see examples. This was in 1964. You'll see instances of them using this toe kick to the body as well. And this just goes to show that, yes, while the game is always constantly evolving, something you might think is new is really not necessarily new. I mean, you think about it, martial arts and fighting has been around since human beings have been around. There's only so many things we can do with our bodies in a fight. So a lot of these techniques have absolutely been used before. They just may not be in the mainstream or popularized. And obviously a big reason for that in the case of the toe kick is because it hurts like hell to do. You don't want to kick somebody with your toes and hit their elbow. So I think a lot of people really shied away from it, especially if they didn't have a traditional karate background. But you'll notice that karate fighters are actually very great at conditioning their toes so that these kicks don't hurt. You'll see guys who can just straight up kick a hard wall with their toes and don't feel it. And another part of this, I think, or my theory at least, is just because people shunned karate for such a long time, at least in the West, and those who are fans of Muay Thai looked down on karate and saw it as inferior to Muay Thai, MMA, Western boxing, what have you. But now people are starting to realize how legit karate is as a fighting art, and that it got a bad rap because of all the McDojos that opened up in the big karate boom. But again, unfortunately, it still seems as though people are not giving it the credit it deserves because they're calling it a new technique. Now, I don't think that's malicious by any means. I don't think it's being done on purpose. I really think people just don't realize because, again, they haven't seen it. But if you like this technique and if you like seeing people get finished with a toe kick to the body, definitely check out some of these Japanese kickboxers that are doing it today. I know everybody knows Yuki Yoza and Noiri in 1FC who are doing this. There's actually quite a few better examples outside of 1FC or what people know right now. Kento Haraguchi, I think, is the best at this technique in kickboxing right now. He's got multiple finishes with it. In one of his latest fights, he got 3 knockdowns and won the fight in the first round. Just by using this kick, all 3 knockdowns occurred as a result of this kick. Absolutely go check out Kento Haraguchi and a lot of the other Japanese fighters right now. Kaito Ono is very good at this as well. And you have a guy like Takeru who throws this kick with the little sort of switch step or skip step, throwing it with his lead leg. Noiri, when he throws it, he kind of throws it almost all the way like a round kick and comes around. Yuki Yoza can do it quite a bit from close range, which looks a little bit different. Kento Haraguchi out of the southpaw stance, he'll sort of lean back and twist his upper body as he throws the kick. So tons of good examples today of people using this successfully. Super exciting. If you're not into kickboxing, absolutely go watch. You'll see this and other techniques you might not have seen before being used quite a bit. But other than that, I would love to hear from anybody who sees this video If I missed some history here, if there's other insight you can share with me, if you've seen this technique before or other techniques that you think might be new or that you haven't seen coming over to kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA that you think are interesting or exciting to watch the sport develop. But above all else, you're going to want to go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will keep them coming.